Good morning and welcome to All Faith Sunday service. It is Sunday, July 5th. I have a few announcements, well maybe two announcements. Our climate action team is meeting this Tuesday at 1:30. You should have received the Zoom information in your email. There will be a special guest and presentation at this meeting, so please try to join. You'll notice that I have two Band-Aids on my face. I fell, I'm fine, and this is what you get this morning. If you have announcements or joys or concerns, please do send them to me and I'll be sure to share them with the congregation. At All Faiths, we want you to know that no matter who you are, wherever you are on your spiritual journey, and no matter whom you love, you are always welcome here. Please join in our chalice letting words that are printed in your order of service as I light the chalice. Each morning we must hold out the chalice of our being to receive, to carry, and give back. It's going to be one of those days. When we are together, we share our joys and sorrows with the congregation. While we're apart, we still have an opportunity to share our joys and sorrows. You can send them to me and I will share them with the congregation. Today we hold Eileen and Jeff in our hearts. Eileen lost her aunt. And we also hold Kendra Maroon in our hearts. She is home, but she also recently lost a family member. So please hold them in your hearts.
Imagine there's no heaven. It's easy if you try. No hell below us, above us only sky. Imagine all the people living for today.
Imagine there's no countries. It isn't hard to do. Nothing to kill or die for, and no religion too. Imagine all the people living life in peace. You may say I'm a dreamer, but I'm not the only one. I hope someday you'll join us, and the world will live as one. Imagine no possessions. I wonder if you can. No need for greed or hunger. A brotherhood of man. Imagine all the people sharing all the world. You may say I'm a dreamer, but I'm not the only one. I hope someday you'll join us, and the world will live as one.
Let us join in a few moments of silence.
chosen this path, but she watches who it crosses. Maybe move to the right, maybe move to the left, so we can all see her pain she wears like a banner on her chest. And we all say it's sad, and we think it's a shame. And she's called to our attention, but we do not call her name. The girl with the weight of the world in her hands. 'Cause we're busy with our happiness and busy with our plans. I wonder if alone she wants it taken from her hands. But if things didn't keep getting harder, she might miss her secret chance to go a consecrated martyr. The girl with the weight of the world in her hands. I wonder which saint that lives inside of me will grant her consolation as she counts upon her need. It makes us all angry, though we fail to care. But who will be the scale to weigh the cross she has to bear? The girl with the weight of the world in her hand. Is the glass half full or empty? I ask her as I fill it. She said it doesn't really matter. Pretty soon you're bound to spill it, with the half-logic language of the sermon she delivers, and the way she smiles so knowingly, and me, it gives me the shivers. I pull the blanket higher when I'm finally safe at home, and she'll take her husband with her, but she always sleeps alone. The girl with the weight of the world in her hands. But I wonder which saint that lives inside of me will grant her consolation as she counts upon her need. It makes us all angry, though we feign to care. But who will be the scale to weigh the cross she has to bear? The girl with the weight of the world in her hands.
Our opening words this morning are from David Poole. We come to this time and this place to rediscover the wondrous gift of free religious community, to renew our faith in holiness, goodness, and the beauty of life, to reaffirm the way of the open mind and the full heart, to rekindle the flame of memory and hope, and to reclaim the vision of an earth made fair, with all her people one.
Why are there so many know they're wrong, wait and see.
Someday we'll find it, the rainbow connection,
The lovers,
the dreamers and me.
who said that every wish would be heard and answered when wished on the morning star.
Somebody thought of that, and someone believed it, and look what it's done so far.
What's so amazing that keeps us stargazing? And what do we think we might see?
Someday we'll find it, the rainbow connection,
The lovers,
the dreamers and me. All of us under its spell, we know that it's probably magic. Have you been half asleep? And have you heard voices?
I've heard them calling my name. Is this the sweet sound that calls the young sailors?
The voice might be one and the same. I've heard it too many times to ignore it. It's something that I'm supposed to be. Someday we'll find it, the rainbow connection,
The lovers,
the dreamers and me. La-di-da-di-da.
la 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 la.
Joseph and Nancy, I'm a little disappointed. Surely one of you could have done Kermit the Frog. Next time. Next time. Our reading this morning is It Matters What We Believe by Sophia Lyon Fawes. Sophia Lyon Fawes was one of our great religious educators. She writes, "Some beliefs are like wild gardens. They encourage exclusiveness and the feeling of being especially privileged. Other beliefs are expansive and lead the way into wider and deeper sympathies. Some beliefs are like shadows, clouding children's days and fears of unknown calamities. And other beliefs are like sunshine, blessing children with warmth of happiness. Some beliefs are divisive, separating saved from unsaved, friends from enemies. Other beliefs are bonds in a world community where sincere differences beautify the pattern. Some beliefs are like blinders, shutting off the power to choose one's own direction. Other beliefs are like gateways, opening wide vistas for exploration. Some beliefs weaken a person's selfhood. They blight the growth of resourcefulness. Other beliefs nurture self-confidence and enrich the feeling of self-worth. Some beliefs are rigid, like the body of death, impotent in a changing world. Other beliefs are pliable, like the young sapling ever growing with the upward thrust of life. And so ends the reading. Please join in hymn number 6, Just As Long As I Have Breath. The words to the hymn are printed on the bottom of your order of service. today is the first Sunday of our Summer of Music, and I think we're off to a very good start. I was reading something Norman Lear wrote this week as his friend Carl Reiner died. And it caused me to pause and think about Norman Lear's work. I grew up on good Unitarian Universalist television. I can remember in 1974, at the age of 5, I'm 51, so you don't have to do the math. At the age of 5, I was allowed to watch All in the Family, The Jeffersons, Maude, and Good Times, all along with Carol Burnett and Lucille Ball. They are responsible for my sense of humor, my lightheartedness, and my social responsibility. I watched until 1980 when all of these Norman Lear greats went off the air, and truth be told, I still watch them on YouTube every once in a while. And these characters were my childhood friends. They took me away from my miserable and abusive childhood. You see, as a child, I was a 10-gallon person. And this 10-gallon person concept was introduced by Bishop T.D. Jakes when he talks about people who have become dissatisfied with the love they are receiving. That was me as a child, dissatisfied with the love I was receiving. And Bishop Jakes talks about the people in the world that are volumeless when it comes to giving and showing love. It's not bragging to say you are this type of person. It's who you are, and some of us are born with this. The bishop says we are 10-gallon people. This is how he describes people who are, in a sense, volumeless lovers. Then the bishop introduces the kind of people in this world who are pint capacity lovers. And these people are described in this way not because they are evil or they're mean. They're just not able to love in a massive volume. But what the bishop is addressing is the difference between these two kinds of people and the complications it can cause if we don't understand what the capacity of the other person's love is. Their capacity for love, if we don't understand it. And so these shows, Norman Lear's shows, provided me with something able to fill my 10-gallon need with my families of pints. My family of pints couldn't do that. And in half-hour increments, I could be full and imagine and be somewhere else. The Jeffersons, in particular, did this. I would be on the green shag carpet on my stomach, watching the closing credits, and images of New York City were shown. And I remember telling myself, you're going to be there someday. And a trip to New York City doesn't sound like a big dream, but no one around me was dreaming of going or doing anything outside our pint-sized world. You see, if you're poor, dreaming hurts. So why do it? And as a 10-galloner, I couldn't resist imagining. My imagination brought me to New York, the United Kingdom, to college as the first person in my family tree to go to college, to the Winter Garden Theater to see Cats. It was okay. To the parties, the beaches, and homes on TV and in magazines. My imagination was boundless. And in fact, when I was 9 years old, I announced during dinner that according to my calculations, I had 9 years left in this place. And after that, I was off to New York. And I was scolded. And heck, I even married a man. So thank you, imagination. In a community, this is all of this and embraces us. So let me tell you a story written by UU Gale Spar. Once there was a wise woman named Athenerva, which is a mashup of Athena and Minerva, the Greek and Roman goddess is of wisdom. So Athenerva would travel from town to town in her country, spending a few days, maybe even a week in each town. And people came to her with difficult questions and problems or arguments they were having with others. And she would help them by finding their way towards satisfying answers. And one day when she entered one of the towns on her route, Athennerva heard a lot of arguing, and she looked and saw a group of people in a very heated discussion. And one person called out, "Athennerva, come here, we need your help, we need your wisdom." And Athennerva approached the group, and the person who had called to her said, "I've been telling people who God is, and they keep saying I'm wrong, and I'm worried about them. Help them see what's right, Athennerva." "Well," said Athennerva, "what have you told them?" "I told them there is one true God who loves and cares for us, hears our prayers, and commands us to love one another." And Athennerva said, "You are correct." And everyone in the group couldn't believe what she said. And they said, "No, that can't be right." And then one of them said, "I believe there's a God, all right. A God who created the universe, established laws governing it, set it going, and left. God has no interest in the affairs of humanity. And it's up to us to make this world the place we want it to be." And Athennerva said, "You are correct." And the third person said, "I believe there are many gods and goddesses. They are part of my worship of all of nature and the cycle of life." And Athennerva said, "You are correct." And one said, "I'm not at all sure there is a God. I see a divine spark in everything and everybody, but maybe it's just part of human consciousness." And Athennerva said, "You are correct." "Well, I don't believe there's a God at all," said the last person in the group, "but I am truly awestruck when I think about the mystery of the creation of our universe and how we came to be. I believe it's my responsibility to leave my corner of the world better than I found it." And Athennerva said, "You are correct." And at this point, everyone was confused. But how, they said, can we all be correct when we all have different ideas of what God is or isn't? "Yes, you all have different visions," she said, "but each of those visions can lead you to love and care for each other in this wonderful part of creation we call Earth. And that is correct vision, however you label it." And as Athennerva left, the people in the group agreed that they didn't need to argue about who was right. They only needed to work together to make the world they wanted. So that's another reason why Unitarian Universalists require imagination. If we want to build beloved community in the world we dream about, we need to imagine it first. And in order to transform ourselves and our world, we need to be able to leap out of the familiar and into the unknown. And Albert Einstein famously said, "Imagination is more important than knowledge, for knowledge is limited, whereas imagination embraces the entire world, stimulating progress, giving birth to evolution. It is," he said, "strictly speaking, a real factor in scientific research." Imagination moves us from the realm of the known to the realm of the possible. And imagination allows us to face life not only with reason and whatever that means, or your definition of it, but with flexibility and grace and sometimes some wishful outside of the box thinking that allows new possibilities to emerge is right for us. And so what is our response? How do we bear such uncertainty? Do we enter the study and begin reading, seek out what is known about the naturalness and probability of our existence? Perhaps. Might we not also take down the musical instrument, begin improvising, find new ways to kiss the ground and love this life in all of its uncertainty? We cannot go back to sleep. The stakes are too high. And we are awake now, awake to all that is required of us as conscious and contentious people, determined to make the world a better place for all the beings that reside on the planet. We are awake to the courage required to reverse the greatest effects of climate change, to the collaboration required to make lasting social change, to the commitment required to crack open the chains of oppression. and to crack open the chains of racism, white supremacy that bind us all. We cannot go back to sleep. The stakes are simply too high. We are going to need to think big, to think impossible things, to imagine and to make them possible with our hope, our Unitarian Universalist faith, and our rolling up of our sleeves and getting our hands dirty. We're going to need to ask, to make the case, to share the reality of what is, and paint a picture of what could be. May it be so. If you're joining us for the first time, or second or third, I tell a joke before we call for the offering, because I think that humor makes you more generous. So here's the joke today. A little girl finally got to attend a wedding for the first time, and while in the church, the girl asked her mother, "Why is the bride dressed in white?" And the mother replied to the girl, "Because white is the color of happiness, and it's the happiest day of her life today." And after a little bit, the girl looks up at her mother and says, "But then why is the groom wearing black?" That you offer this congregation to do its work.
Love's the one thing I knew all about. I had it all figured out. But what about trust? What about tenderness? What about tears when I'm happy? What about wings when I fall? I want you to be a story for me that I can believe in forever. So what about? Will you be my light in the storm? Will I see a new world in your eyes? With you my whole spirit rises. And what about hope? What about joy? What about tears when I'm happy? What about
Go in peace, live simply, and act justly, and use your imagination to create a better world for us all. Remember the depth of your own compassion, and forget not your power in these days of your powerlessness. May it be so.
Come with me, and you'll be in a world of pure imagination. Take a look and you'll see into your imagination. We'll begin with a spin, traveling in a world of our creation. What we'll see will defy explanation. If you want to view paradise, simply look around and view it. Anything you want to do it. Want to change the world? There's nothing to it. There is no life I know to compare with pure imagination. Living there, you'll be free if you truly wish to be. There is no life I know to compare with your imagination. Living there, you'll be free if you truly wish to be.
Please join in the words printed in your order of service as I extinguish the chalice. We extinguish this flame, but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment. These we carry in our hearts and out into the world.